everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. And you ready to meet my nemesis? And no, it's not RNG, it's not my love-hate relationship that I've been in with this game for the last 15 years. It is the Phoenix, aka the WT E100. This is the Omega Whale tank. Only 3,000 of them were available at 100,000 gold apiece, and like a good little cow, I aligned up and said, "Milk me, Daddy, Wargaming," and yeah, got my hands on the vehicle. Now, the thing is this tank, it trolls its opponents, for sure. I mean, you're going to see exactly why in just a few minutes. But it also trolls the living daylights out of me. This vehicle, for some reason, I just really am not very good in a WT E100, and I'm really not very good in an FV4005. Which is funny because back in the day in the WT E100, I used to get pretty good average damage, an okay win ratio in the vehicle. And I think I had one of my higher damage games of all time and completed, what was it, TD Mission 15 for the original Object 260 in a WT E100 before it was inevitably removed from the game. So for anyone who has no idea about this tank, it used to be in the game like 10 years ago before Wargaming removed it because it was overpowered. And they tried to slay this beast multiple times. They nerfed it, nerfed it, nerfed it, nerfed it, nerfed it, nerfed it. Originally it had 6 rounds, way better gun handling, nerf that, nerf this, take one shell away, don't change the reload, which is a mega nerf, blah, 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 and here we are with it being available once again for all of the whales for 100,000 gold price tag. It was a pretty interesting concept for monetization in a game. Introduce a vehicle, it's broken, nerf it, nerf it, nerf it, wait 5 years, and then sell it for the equivalent of like hundreds of euros worth of gold. I'm sure he appreciated that Wargaming put this back into the game. That Type 57 is not very well anymore. And just like that, this thing has 560 alpha, 2-second intra-clip reload. It is just... it's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting that the collectors were forced. I know it's the collector's choice, right? To pony up 100,000 gold. And also it's pretty disgusting for people who are on the receiving end. This vehicle is just super toxic, really. It's super toxic. It's the kind of tank that if it just sits there and waits, what do you do to push it? Nobody pushes in front of 5 Yag Tigers, because that's what the firepower of this tank is like. Although it does take 8 seconds to be able to deliver those 5 Yag Tiger rounds. And it has a horrible turret that can easily be penned by HE. And the game is very different these days. A lot of tanks have good HE pen, and not just that, a lot of players use intuition. So you'll hear that ding. Well, yeah, you would if you could hear what your opponents were doing. You'd hear, like, you come around a corner, it's like ding, 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 ding. The intuition bell is in your head. I know you can hear it. All of you intuition enjoyers out there. And unfortunately, that is not the sound of profit for the Phoenix. When you hear a noise like that, absolutely, definitely not. That is the sound of pain being preloaded, as HE shells will rip apart your vehicle. Something that players couldn't do back in the day unless they preloaded HE, but that would take like 10 seconds, at least 15 seconds in some cases. Now we have T110 E3s that within 3 seconds can change their alpha damage from 750 up to 1,100 with more than enough penetration to obliterate this thing's turret. So the Phoenix, aka the WT E100, it has as many good things about it as it has bad things about it. I think the only person who truly enjoys is probably the Phoenix player when it goes well. And I guess for every time it goes well for the Phoenix player, there's also probably a lot of times where it doesn't go well for the Phoenix player. And then the enemy team can be able to enjoy those easy HE pens. So this Udez has got himself into a little bit of a pickle. Why don't I get him out? Boom. And boom. And anyone else? Any other customers want to come and have a look? What's this leopard prototype doing? Hurting my little friend. Hey, how dare you, little leopard prototype? There's no way he's coming back around the corner, right? Bro. That's not how we World of Tanks. That's not how we World of Tanks, mate. And just like that, we put in pretty much about like 2,000 damage in a magazine. And I think I even had one left to be able to finish him off if I needed. And you can see I was looking to my right because while this tank might be my nemesis, the natural nemesis of the Phoenix is actually the FV4005, who was skulking around and I was expecting the FE405 to come around the corner and deliver me a wonderful 1,700 appreciation damage to my turret. Unfortunately, camo rating on this vehicle, definitely not one of the strong points, and I want to get back into a position where I can try and help dump on the cap. Unfortunately, that means that I take a shot from a Stridsvang S1. This tank's camo rating it basically just doesn't have camo. The only camo that you're going to have on this vehicle is if you paint the tank and if you have an exhaust. You should absolutely, utterly not take the concealment skill on this tank. It'd be a wasted slot for all of your crew members, and you'd be far better to invest into other skills that try and improve the gun handling or improve the mobility of the vehicle. And there's a lot of them these days. Oh, big moment. I gotta get this ELC out. I gotta get this ELC out. Tough, tough, tough. Wait for it. Oh no, come on baby, need this. Oh, probably with one of the last seconds to be able to spot that ELC before they re-stealth, and this game would be done. We didn't really have anything apart from maybe that SWB1 who would have been able to catch that ELC there, but blinding our opponents is going to give us a lot better chance when you're playing in a very fat, not very sneaky tank that likes to dump filthy amounts of damage at long range. So the FE405 has been spotted out, seems to be hounding down my UDES, who's making some valiant plays, and the FE405 struggles with camo rating pretty much about as much as this vehicle does. Unfortunately for me, there's nothing really that I can do when I've got like a 50-second reload in this vehicle. And no, I'm not mincing my words. Even with a premium consumable and Brothers in Arms, you've got about a 50-second reload. It's 58 seconds base. I tell this SDB1 I'm going to help them. Unfortunately, it looks like the Scorpion is going after my UDES as well. But right now, do I want to blind fire? Do I not want to blind fire? I'm communicating as best I can with the SDB1, telling him that I'm ready to engage. And the UDES is fighting valiantly in the town. I asked the SDB1 whether they can spot, and I think, do I have to go and help this UDES right now? Or shall I try and go for this SDB1? And I see the SDB1 actually goes forwards. So I'm going to pre-aim on that position where I think their SDB1 will be. The SDB1 pings the center of the map. I ping the FE405 to let the SDB1 know that that's probably not a good idea if the FE405 is going to catch you. I bounce a shell off an SDB1. I don't think this player's going to come through. Shall I go for the weak point now? I think about it, but then I feel, okay, SDB1's dug in. Hopefully our SDB1 will relax as well. The SDB1 pings where the FE405 is. I press affirmative, so I'm going to go off and try and help the UDES by getting rid of the Scorpion, getting rid of the FE405, and then hopefully that will allow our SDB1 to stay alive for later on in this battle. Close game so far, but this is from one German tank destroyer to another, both turreted. Good night, sweetheart. The UDES actually says thank you, and that always, like, gets me, you know? Tingly feelings when your allies are communicating and working together and trying our very hardest. So the FE405 coming around the corner. Who's he going to blap? I'm thinking about running. I want to try and get this angle. I'm pretty sure he's going to come around the corner here. I've got to try and fire one and then run and then fire another and then run and try to create the engagement there. But the FE405 actually gets spotted on the map, so I'm going to have to crest and go after him. And unfortunately, oh, I saw that one coming. And that was just painful. To lose 1,600 hit points off our SWB1 at this stage of the game. Can we recover from that? Can we recover from that? Oh, beautiful mag from the UDES. Let's go. And I got 3 shells left. Only 46 seconds on the cap. I pinged the map to let the UDES know that the S1 was there. Again, trying to give as much information to my team as I possibly can. And ladies and gents, boys and girls, all that we can do is, again, communicate how many shells we have left and try to get these shots in for the base. If I get spotted right now, it's just certain death. So I'm trying to sit right on the cusp of the cap circle and the render distance here, or should I say the spotting distance, so they can't see me. And unfortunately, I'm using durability and not coated optics because I thought this was going to be more of a town fight, so I don't have the vision to be able to spot my opponents. Okay, 10 seconds left. Now I'm going to have to think about where I need to interrupt. I'm going to ping the UDES dies. Okay, there's one blind fire, there's another blind fire, and there's another blind fire. Now, it's hard to say whether I managed to overmatch this SDB1 there, but I can. If I hit the side of an SDB1, I overmatch him. So that SDB1, to all intents and purposes, could be down now to below half health, and the Stridsvang S1. I love how interactive this team was. The charioteer goes, "Lol, no way!" And I just press affirmative. That's how I felt as well. So 3 blind fires in a row. I was running because I expected the SWB1 to come after me, but now I see that they're back in the cap circle. So either the SWB1 is still chasing me, or the S1 has entered the cap circle. Still, I can overmatch the entirety of the Sturzfang S1, and I can overmatch the whole of the side of the SWB1. It's only really the turret that's going to cause issues. And this is it. This is for our moment. We're going to go for the Radley Walters medal. We're going to go for our possible ace. I've never got an ace in the Phoenix, and oh, the S1 spots me. I've still got 600 hit points. I don't have time. I've got to try and see if I can get this SDB1 to fire at me. I'm going to aim at the same location. He spots me. I fire once. I hit him again. I fire twice. I hit him again, but I blind fire the SDB1 once again. I hit 5 blind fires in a row. But I can't show on battle hits because I didn't take the screenshot. But the S1, they hit me in this area that you see on top of the vehicle. This weak point here stuck up over the ridge line and let the S1 catch it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, destroying half of the enemy team and hitting 5 blind shots in the cap circle consecutively wasn't enough to take this one down and the possible inevitable ace tanker that would have come with it. But to be fair, it was just a second class. We did 6,000 damage here, of which we managed to do 1,783 blind to the SDB1 and 123 to the Obsidian. Absolute heartbreak. This thing, it just completely trolls me. So if you ever thought, what is QuickyBaby's nemesis? It is the WT E100. This is kryptonite to QuickyBabs, and I'm just going to have to keep soldiering on to see if one day my 100,000 gold investment will give me that one magical game. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was the tank that trolls me. Really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And let me know in the comments down below what you think about Wargaming reintroducing the WT E100 behind 100,000 gold paywall. Do you think it was a little bit of fun, or are you the kind of player who actually really enjoyed your WT E100 back in the day and you think it's just insane that it came behind like a 200 or 300 euro price tag? And if you're watching this video as it goes live on Friday, I'm going live all day on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby with brand new drop tokens. So come along, grab some loot, and why not come and tell me in the chat what tank is your nemesis and why. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.